In today's video, I will be showing you the basics of HTML and how to get started. Right now, I am using a web browser called repl.it. I'm going to underline it. It's right up here. You can see. So you could definitely use repl.it. This is a very good website. You can still make websites with it, and you don't have to pay for a URL because it provides you with one. But if you really want to get more into it and you get really good at making these websites, I would definitely use where was it? I'm not going to look at it now, but there's a ton of different coding applications that you can download for coding. Ton of different things. This is just something that you can get started with learning. Alright, so first let's focus on up here, line 6. It's going to say title and title. This is going to be the name of your page. What do you want to name it? Obviously, it's not going to, when you're using Repel, it's the name, it's not going to pop up over here, but it will pop up over here. So here's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to make a title and I'm going to call it, I don't know, T. Just very, very simple. And I'm going to copy the link address, paste it up here in the web browser. And it's going to say T right up here. So that's the name of your page. But here it's going to say tutorial 1 because that's what I named this file. So I'm going to call this HTML. Just HTML. You don't have to do that because if you want to make a new website, then be my guest. So first, CSS is probably the most important thing when you're coding in HTML because without CSS, your web page is not a web page. You want the graphics, and you want to design your web page. Like, for instance, this is one of my first web pages I've ever designed. This is the sign up. Everything that you see here is with CSS, and HTML just codes what it does. Alright, so to use CSS, you're going to want to press enter right after you're done with the required things that Google requires. Link, ref, style, CSS, style sheet, text / CSS. So now you're going to want to write style / style, just like that. And now this will allow you to use CSS inside of your code. Now let's say I want to make my web page a different color and not just like white. I want to make it light blue. Then I'm going to type body, which is the body of the page, and I will type background color, just like that, and I spelled that wrong. Background color, light, sky, blue, just like that. And it should look something like this. Alright, and now we want to make a header or the title of the page pop up right over here. Now we can go to body where you're going to type the script and you're going to type H1, same thing as, H1, just like that, and I want to type HTML because that's what it's called, HTML / H1, and boom, just like that. And we can also customize it and change the font size by using CSS, like H1, we type up here, just like that, and we want the font size to be 50, for instance. You don't just write 50 or 45. You'll have to put PT. And when you're making a box, you write pixels to represent what it's being shown by. Like that. And it should look like this. Want to move it to the center of the page here. That, we just go back in CSS and you want to write text align center. center, just like that. And it should move this text to the center of the page. Just simple CSS. Now, if you want to make a box, just like over here, I put background color H1 for the text up here. But what if I want to make like a big white box, like what I did over here? That is also very simple. Here, box isn't an actual variable, so if you want to create your own string or variable, then you're going to want to put a dot in front of it, just so that the script or the code can identify whether it is a variable or it is something else. So we're going to write box1. You don't have to, because you're naming it. And I want my box to have the background color of white. So I'm just going to type white. And you also have to finish it off and close it like that. Background color white. And if you do this, it's not just going to pop up. You also have to put the width. And I want my width to be, let's say, 700 px for pixels. And height. And I want this to be 1000 pixels, for instance. Still not going to pop up. And don't worry, that is not an issue, that is not a problem. Because the only way to make this appear is you have to code it. So we're going to go in body once again. And we're going to write div class, because we made this class, box1, equals, no space, box1. Just like that, and we're going to close it. Now, let's finish up the div like that. And there you go. The box should appear. And there is my box. Alright, and you control the width and the height from the CSS. Mine is 1000 if I want to spread it out throughout the entire page. I can do 2200, I believe that is. And it should spread out across the entire page, but it's a lot bigger than expected. But you can control the width and height that way. And if I wanted to put a box inside of a box, you would do the exact same thing and create another div inside of this div. And if you want it to not be inside of the box, then you leave the div and you type it here. Those are the simples of CSS, or the basics of CSS and HTML. If you guys like the video, please comment what you want me to do next. Subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Bye.